What's up everyone? Thank you so much for tuning in. And if you're new, welcome to my channel. My name is Preeti and I am both a real estate broker and a mortgage broker for close to 20 years. Today, I'm here to cover a topic that everyone buying a home needs to be aware of. Now, when purchasing a property, there are many factors to consider. The clauses in an agreement of purchase and sale, the inspection, the closing date, the deposit amount. But there is one aspect of home buying that people never discuss. How are you going to take ownership of the property? Now, if it's only one person on title, then it's not an issue. But if there are more than one people going on title, this will apply to you, so listen carefully, especially if you are a first-time home buyer. But before I proceed, you know the drill. Make sure to like, share, tap the bell icon, hit that subscription button. It gets me motivated to keep you up to date with everything real estate. So what am I talking about when I say taking ownership? See, when you buy a property, you have to tell your lawyer if you're sharing ownership as a joint tenant or tenants in common. Now, normally if you're a married couple or if you're a common law partner, then 99.9% of the time, the property is registered as joint tenants, with both the husband and the wife owning 50% of shares of the property equally. If you are siblings or friends or just plain investors buying a home together, then you can opt for tenant in common. Now the question is, what is the difference between these two? Let's start with the definition of joint tenancy. In a joint tenancy, joint tenants have identical in undivided interests in the property. The co-owners hold the property as a unified whole, such that each holds an equal interest. Most people, when purchasing a property with someone else, choose to take title as joint tenants. For couples, this most often makes sense, since the primary advantage of joint ownership is the right of survivorship. The right of survivorship means that if one owner were to pass away, or if one spouse were to pass away, their interest in the property automatically transfers to the other owner or owners on title. Each owner owns 100% of the property as joint tenants. Now, for the joint tenancy to exist, the following four unities must also exist. 1. Unity of title. The co-owners must acquire title by the same title deed or the will on the same property. Number 2. Unity of interest. The co-owners share equal interest in that said property. Number 3. Unity of possession. They have the right of possession of the whole property. And 4. Unity of time. All tenants must acquire the property at the same time. If one or more of these four unities is not present, that will result in tenancy in common. Tenants in common. This is a form of ownership in which multiple people own separate shares of the property, and the shares can be dealt with separately. This type of co-ownership may be well suited for individuals who are not legally married, who are buying a property with a friend or a sibling or business partner. It can also apply to spouses and common law partners too. The division of ownership can be fully determined by those on title, and no party is entitled to another person's share upon that person's death. This form of ownership allows each owner to pass their share in the property to a beneficiary under their will, if they choose to do so. Alternatively, each owner could also choose to sell their share in their lifetime. However, finding a buyer for a partial share in a property can prove quite challenging. Despite the fact that all owners own their share independently from one another, selling the property will often require cooperation and agreement among all parties on title. So how do you decide which is a better option for you? The fact is, it does not matter if you are married or a common law partner buying a home together, or if you are friends, siblings, investors buying a home together. The main point is to decide what is the purpose of this purchase, because the main factor that separates the joint tenancy from the tenant in common is the right of survivorship. So let's say you are a married couple and you are buying your very first home or your second home. In that case, it's advisable to choose joint tenancy, that is equal 50-50 ownership of the property you are buying, because in the event that one spouse passes away, that spouse's portion of the property will go to the surviving spouse automatically. In the event that you choose to go tenant in common and one partner or spouse passes away, then their portion will not automatically go to the surviving spouse or the partner or the sibling or the investor. It will become a part of his or her estate. So always talk to a lawyer before deciding on going joint tenant or tenants in common. So if you like this video, click on the boxes on the screen above. Once again, my name is Preeti Rao and my contact information is in the description box below. below. Make sure to hit like, share, subscribe, the bell icon so you don't miss any future videos. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to call me because I hold the key that opens the door to your dream home.